I'm here today with Phil Liebman, who's a Vistage chair in the New York, New Jersey area. Phil, tell us about the peer advisory group, which is such an important part of the Vistage experience.
Sure. Our peer advisory group is a high-charged and yet very safe environment where people who lead significant companies can come together on a regular basis and challenge each other really to be better at what they do, which ultimately means being better at making the critical decisions that they face, solving the problems that they run into, and seizing opportunities that come along. And because this group is tightly knit and engaged, they are committed to really helping each other, not just identifying what needs to change. And at the end of the day, these members become stronger leaders, and they run companies that tend to be stronger and tend to grow certainly better than they would otherwise.
Phil, it's an all-day meeting. How do CEOs feel about devoting a day a month to this meeting?
I think in the world today, a full day is even more frightening than it was 5-10 years ago, even in the course of the time that I've been chairing groups. The fact is that unless members were really feeling that they were gaining more in value than they were contributing in all factors, they just wouldn't do it. And the reality is that this is such a unique opportunity for them to get a look at their thought process, get a look at what they're doing, and even just learn from exploring others' companies and needs. It turns out that a full day never really seems to be enough. And the old adage is that it's a day where people can get away from their business to work on their business. And while that's certainly true, I think that the real difference is the quality of the experience being just very unique, full of takeaway value in applicable ways, not theory. But when people walk away feeling empowered and accountable and focused on strategic things, they begin to look forward to those days.
So Phil, what's the role of the chair during these meetings, and how do you help create a confidential and safe environment, and how do you make sure that it runs well?
My role is probably defined in two ways. On one hand, I'm just the lifeguard. I want to make sure that everyone's playing safely in the environment, that they have the resources that they need so that they can get the value that they come looking for, and that the environment stays safe. Because we deal with issues that can really get very, very personal, whether it's deep in the details of their business, which is confidential, or sometimes just in their lives. I mean, we have people talking about things that they just don't share with anybody else. So in that regard, I make sure that it is a safe environment, both in terms of how we process issues and conversations, but more importantly, how we select members. And that's why the environment works, and that's how it is safe. You can't just join a Vistage group. You need to be invited. And that invitation is a result of a selection process and an interview that not only ensures that each member is going to be a good fit for the group, but that the group's going to give them good value, and that when you join, you know what you're in for. And you know what to expect, and more important, you know what's going to be expected of you.
Well, Phil, thanks so much.